Welcome to Handmade Happy Hour. Today I'm doing 3 photo crafts. First up, I'm going to do some pendants. I'm using a 1-inch pendant, and I have shrunk down some family photos on a laser copier. You can use a color copier at Staples or any place like that. I'm using a 1-inch punch to get a perfect circle. Of course, you could cut one out as well. I'm going to use Mod Podge and Dimensional Magic here. The first step is that I'm going to protect my work surface with a little wax paper. I love this Dollar Tree wax paper, and I'm going to use matte Mod Podge on the back of my image. Again, this is a color copy. You don't want to do this with a real photograph. Go ahead and color copy your pictures. Add it to the back, and then we're going to place it right into the pendant. This pendant has a little wall. It's a weld pendant, and that's where our Dimensional Magic will go. So I'm just going to press down and make sure that it's really in there well. And then we'll go ahead and top coat with a little bit more Mod Podge to seal that down. Now it's important before you do the Dimensional Magic that you let this thoroughly dry. I would say let it dry at least 5 hours. Even overnight is best because you want that Dimensional Magic to go down when it's really dry. So I'm going to use some old dried beans to level this in. This one's been drying, and these dried beans work great to create a level surface. Because of the bail on the pendant blank, it's a little bit curved and it doesn't lay flat. So for the Dimensional Magic, you don't want to shake it, but you can see that I just rolled it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and start it, make sure I don't have an air bubble, and then I'm going to work on the outside edge, working my way in. When this dries, it's going to give it a glass-like finish, almost like a resin, but this is no mixing and it's non-toxic. Let's fill that in. It's cloudy here, but it's going to dry clear, and if you get an air bubble, just use a toothpick or a pin to pop that air bubble. You're going to let this dry in a non-drafty place for 24 hours, and look how gorgeous they look, all shiny and beautiful little pictures. This same idea works for keychains and all kinds of different projects. Now that they're dry, you can just chain them up. You can add them to any kind of necklace that you want. So this started out as one of those acrylic keychains, and look how easy this is. I went ahead and Mod Podged my image down. Let's go ahead and add that to a keychain. So simple. These are really fun for personalized gifts. All right, next we're gonna do some photo transfer. These are pictures of my girls. I'm calling this a grandma bag. And these are pictures from our Disneyland adventures. And I have gone ahead and printed them on a laser toner copy. If you have writing on your image, you wanna do a mirror image of that. This is just plain lightweight paper. It's not photo paper. It's nothing fancy. And I get these printed at Staples. You can do the same thing at Kinko's. This is the photo transfer of Mod Podge. So it's going to work differently than Mod Podge, but you can see that it transfers it onto fabric really nicely. Okay, so what we're going to do is go ahead and trim our image down. Anywhere that you have white or paper, that is going to transfer. So I'm going to trim off all of the extra edges there. And you can see I'm just using some scissors to trim that away. So I'm getting rid of all of that white part, but I'm just cutting it really close to the image. I'm adding a layer of wax paper in between my bag here, and I did pre-iron my bag. This is 100% cotton, but this works with the cotton poly blend as well. And now I'm gonna go ahead and add my formula, the Mod Podge Photo Transfer, to the top of the printed area. I'm gonna do a nice thick coat there. You want it to be completely white and solid. You don't wanna see any image poking through. And when you handle it, you wanna make sure that you're not rubbing it off of those corners or the edges. I'm using a 1-inch brush here just to go ahead and smooth everything out. I like to have nice, smooth brush strokes. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything laid down and then go in and do all of my brush strokes in one direction. I like doing this on the wax paper because it works as a carrier, and that way I can easily lift it up. So you can see I've got nice, smooth brush strokes there. Then we're gonna go ahead and work from the corner, kind of peeling that up and just touching that corner, barely touching it and barely touching the edges. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of touch up there, get some more of that formula down. Again, this is the Mod Podge Photo Transfer formula. Now let's put that onto our bag You can see I'm just delicately touching those edges, and I landed it pretty good. I have messed up sometimes. Now we're gonna go ahead and smooth that down, working from the center all the way around the edges, making sure that that's nice and smooth and flat. And this is super important. You're going to be waiting 24 hours. This is going to have to dry for the full 24 hours, okay? If you have a little extra running off there, grab a damp cloth while it's wet and clean that up. A baby wipe works good here too. And don't forget, it's 24 hours for dry time, okay? Very important. All right, it's 24 hours later. I love these Mr. Clean sponges. You can grab a version of this at the Dollar Tree also, and I've got a bowl of water. I'm going to get my sponge damp, not saturated, just damp, and this is the process for removing the paper. The image will stay on the bag, but right now I'm going to remove the paper by tapping my sponge on there and getting that dampened all the way around. So it's not a heavy amount of water, it's a light amount of water. And then I'm going to start rubbing in a circular motion, and you can see the paper starts to peel away. Now, I don't want to fool you. This looks like it's perfect the first time out, and it is not. Once this dries, that paper will pulp up again, and you're going to repeat this process at least 3 times. In my opinion, it takes a good 5 times to really remove all of the paper. So it looks perfect here, but you can see once it dries, all of that pulp is going to come back over onto the image. So you're going to repeat that process until it's completely gone and you have bright, happy looking photos. So for this bag, I think it took 5 times to get really all of it gone, but sometimes I've done it in 3. Smaller projects, usually about 3 times, bigger projects about 5 times. But look how cool that is. It's so easy to do. Just please be patient. Don't rub too hard, and you will get these gorgeous images on a tote bag or any kind of a pillow covering. This is so great on any kind of a cotton project or blank. And there's so many out there for the Cricut machine now. So you can really use some of those blanks for photo transfer. All right, let's make over a thrift store vase. I grabbed this vase at the thrift store. I love the square shape. We're gonna do some photos on these, and we're gonna do a faux tinting on them. So I've taken my images and turned them black and white. I'm using dishwasher safe Mod Podge for this because I am going to use water with this vase, but if you had a regular one, that would work too. I measured the size of my vase and I'm cut my pictures to size, and now I'm cleaning that with some rubbing alcohol, and I'm adding my dishwasher safe Mod Podge to the back of the image. And I cut this a tiny bit smaller than my shape. I usually use Canva to edit my pictures down, but if you have any kind of Photoshop, that works. Or you can just go right into Kinko's and shrink things down on their little dollar machine there. So let's go ahead and rub that, get that really good and down, make sure we don't have any air bubbles. And I'm repeating this process on all sides of the vase. So these are some mom and me photos, and I've even got a picture of us with grandma on Mother's Day. Now we're going to create our tint by adding a little bit of paint to some of that dishwasher safe Mod Podge. This is sort of trial and error, so have a little scrap paper around to do a test to make sure it's the color you want. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to hand color our outfits and the flowers and some of the details on the images. This is a really cool way to customize colors. I love how it's sort of got that Victorian vibe going on, but at the same time, it really has a cool modern pop to it as well. So for the black and white images, I did do that in Canva, but like I said, you can turn any color picture black and white, shrink it down on a machine at Kinko's or Staples, any kind of a copy machine. I'm gonna add some turquoise. My daughter loves turquoise, so let's turn her black and white shirt turquoise. This is such a cute way to do this. For all of these, I'm using the Mod Podge detail paintbrushes, but you can use any kind of little brush. Q-tips work here. Even you can tap it with your own finger to create a look. All right, let's make some foliage green, mixing my green paint. And then for this, I'm just gonna crumple up an old napkin, and we're gonna tap that on to really highlight those shrubs that are behind them. So just tap it in and then tap it on, and that's gonna give you a really cool kind of leafy look. From here, if you wanted to add gems or whatever you wanted to on it, you could add more things, more embellishments. For this project, I'm just doing the paint. And this is the paint that is mixed with the Mod Podge. For those edges, I'm going to add some silver there. That's just some, it's actually called Treasure Gold, but that's the color silver. And then to seal it, I'm doing 3 top coats of the Mod Podge Dishwasher Safe. Now I want to make sure you understand that all of this paint and the pre-work that I've done is completely dry, but I'm going to seal the whole thing 3 times, and this is going to be very friendly for water and flowers. I think it just turns out so great. It's such a fun Mother's Day gift or a birthday gift. Thank you so much for joining me for today's 3 PhotoCraft projects. I hope that you enjoyed these. I'll be back next week with another fun project to share with you. And until then, have a super crafty week. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I can barely say it today. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Bye.